Jennifer Say, Allentown, Pennsylvania. This is her first year on the national team. She's a student at Catholic Central High. This is our current leader after the team competition, Elena Shushanova of the Soviet Union. On the beam, which she's about to perform right now, she scored a 9.95 in the team competition.
Look at that planche. What a rock.
She is usually so solid on this event. In fact, there's hardly any gymnasts that compete better than Shushanova.
She reminds us so much of Yuri Korolev of the men's team in that they're very strong mentally.
Here's a very tough pass for her. Layout, layout.
Oh, she is off.
Oh, my.
That is something you rarely see her do. Hardly ever makes a mistake like that.
Oh, we saw Omelianchik fall off the bars earlier.
And another major wobble there. She must have completely lost her composure after that. Probably she was just as surprised as falling off as we were.
It's one of the most difficult things is getting, oh my gosh, a full twisting back handspring swing down. That's not just difficult, that's almost insane. So hard to get your composure and your concentration back when you have a major miss like that.
Especially with all the acrobatic skills in this routine. It's not like she's watering back at all, is she?
Not at all. She does look a little shaken, though. I've never seen her look quite like this on this event. Dismount, double tuck. So unfortunate, and it's so unusual that within moments, two of the top Soviets have made major mistakes.
Jennifer Say's floor score, a 9.50, Kathy.
Now here's where the problem was. Back handspring, two layout step outs, slightly off to the right, and she could just never get it back.
And that mistake cost her. She gets a 9.3, but she is still the leader. Elena Shushanova, and she's followed by Kolesnikova and Omelianchik. As far as the American gymnasts are concerned, Wilburn is 12th, Say 13th, and Spivey 20th. Start the second rotation. Here's a face, Kathy, I'm sure you'll remember. She's a judge on the vault right now.
Yes, I competed with her many, many times. Nadia Komanic of Romania. She was responsible for a major turning point in our sport. Showed the possibility of near perfection.
Here's another one.
This is Nellie Kim, one of the most favorite gymnasts of audiences all over the world.
Okay, and you're looking at Gabriela Pudorak of Romania, 13 years of age, her first vault.
Great vault. Round off entry into a layout Sukahar with a full twist.
You know what amazes me about this vault is she is really hauling in that run. She has good speed, good push. She's up in the air, and she's just about as tall as that vaulting horse.
This vault is actually made for the shorter gymnast.
A 9.60 first vault for Gabriela Pudorak of Romania. There she is. This is Chen Kui-ting of China. We saw in the first rotation on the uneven bar. She's in 4th place after the first rotation, and she's working the beam.
And she is really aggressive on this event. Look how quick she moves over the beam. It's as if she's on the floor.
What amazes me is the tremendous definition in her leg muscles.
She's really one of the new generation of the Chinese gymnasts. She shows a good balance between strength and power and elegance. The routine is a little bit choppy, but as she gets a little more experience, a little older, it'll start to flow a lot better.
She's only 15 years of age, had a 9.65 in the team competition on the beam.
That was an interesting move. It was a front shoulder roll, actually invented by a U.S. gymnast, Kelly Garrison.
Well, now that was unusual that she did just a back handspring there.
It's a really simple element to just put in alone in the balance beam routine. As I said, it doesn't quite have the flow as some of the other routines. Dismount, double back.
Chen Kui-ting of China.
Just a nice, steady performance. that first pass, that handspring layout step out. Just a slight balance check, but otherwise pretty close to perfect.
And her score, a 9.55 for Kui Ting of China for a total of 57.55. Also, the second vault score for Podorak of Romania was a 9.65. This is Vera Kolesnikova, her first vault from the Soviet Union.
And she's only 5/100ths of a point behind Shushinova right now.
Round off, layout Suk fall. Great landing.
Boy, that's got to help her.
Well, she's been a national team member since 1982, so she's familiar with international competition.
Now, the round-off vault has become very popular. It's a little scary to learn, but the potential to do really difficult vaults is endless.
Her first vault score, a 9.8.
You can really generate a lot of power on this vault. Now, I know she can do a double twist. I'm not sure if she's going to do it in this competition.
Oh,
there it is.
Nice.
Oh, little trouble on the landing, but such a difficult vault to do 2 twists.
And you know, it's really typical of the Soviets' attitude that even though, you know, she could use a nice, clean, conservative performance here, she doesn't hold anything back. She cuts the big vault. Same
Good
vault as
takeoff.
before, but boy, she cranks one more twist, and wow, what a job trying to land that.
She had a 9.8 first score. Her second score, a 9.55. They'll take the 9.8 from her first score, and her total will be 58.85. Vera Kolesnikova. This is Helena Shushinova on the floor exercise of the competition between the Soviets, starting to get a little tighter.
Now, this is where Helena is really powerful. Watch his first tumbling run. Be a double back in layout position. Oh. Oh, gosh, that is going to cost her.
Well, remember, she had only a 9.3 on the first rotation on the beam with a mistake, and now she makes one early on the floor.
I have never seen her miss that trick. Comes a second run. It's a very difficult pass. Arabian 1 3/4. That is really hard. Most of the time, only men do that trick.
You know, she doesn't have that fierce look that we've seen so many times from her. I think she's really rattled that she made a mistake.
You know, there's so much pressure here in this competition. She's tied with the world champion at our past world championships, and so many people try and compare these two gymnasts. So you know that's added pressure. It's a double tuck somersault.
Oh, that was great.
Definitely finished strong.
She had a 9.90 on the floor exercise in the team competition, but some mistakes have hurt her early here.
You know, it looks to me on this laid-out double that she gets a decent takeoff. She lays it back pretty far, but there's just no way you're going to land one like that. It's too low.
And it almost looked like she's out of bounds there.
A 9.40, so that gives her a total of 58.50, and she's now trailing Kolesnikova at this point in the competition. Now here's Oksana Omelyanchik working the beam. She had a 9.85 on the beam in the team competition.
Советский Союз. Упражнение на бревне.
9,55 оценка Синоды Михо.
Now this is who Shushinova shares the world championship all-around title with. So many people, as I said earlier, try and compare these two gymnasts. They're completely different. Shushinova is strong and very competitive. Omelyanchik has a little more beauty in her work, a little more style.
One thing they do have in common is, though, that they both made major mistakes on their first events today.
Omelyanchik made hers on the uneven bars.
She's moving quite well so far. Now watch this. It's a handstand. We called it a splice. She goes right through her arms into a split position off the end of the beam. This is where she excels. She always shows so much originality. Talk about originality.
What in the world was that? It was like a back dive with a quarter turn.
With a quarter turn and then chest roll.
I have never seen that skill. That's great. It's amazing she does it, a new trick like that so late in her routine.
So dismount, double twist, fairly easy dismount, but that was a beautiful routine.
And she's a joy to watch, Oksana Omelianchik.
It's that first tumbling pass, 2 back handsprings, to a nice high layout step out.
And she comes up with a 9.9, so she remains in 3rd place at this point with a total of 58.25. This is Joyce Wilburn. She's from Patterson, New Jersey, 15 years of age. She was the top scorer among Americans in the team competition, and she's working the uneven bars.
Now, this is not one of Joyce's strongest events, but she's such a strong gymnast. She can hold her own here. It's a giant swing. As you can see, she doesn't have the long swing, but she hits every position right in handstand, so there will be no major deductions. Free hip to handstand, giant swing, and a pike double flyaway. This is much better than she did in the team competition.
She only had